Dan, long time no see. Good to see you as well. The Philadelphia Eagles are beginning their push for the playoffs and beginning their final push to defend their NFC Championship from last season. But Philadelphia Eagles fans definitely don't feel as good about this particular playoff run as they did about last year's, and they don't feel really as good about this season as they did even 6 weeks ago. Philadelphia Eagles are coming back looking for a statement victory, hoping to bring the team that got them to 10-1 to start the season, as opposed to the team that finished 1-5. They are the first team since the 1986 New York Jets to accomplish that feat. And the Philadelphia Eagles are facing off against the team they faced off against earlier this season, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay Buccaneers will be at the helm with Baker Mayfield, with others in the lineup. And it's going to be an interesting matchup for this team as these two teams go at it again. A lot changes over the course of the season. Eagles fans hoping that the Philadelphia Eagles will be able to deliver a statement victory, a statement win. Whereas the Tampa Bay Buccaneers hoping to hold on as well. Both teams playing for a chance to play against the Detroit Lions next week at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Traveling out to Ford Field, taking on the Detroit Lions. Both teams hoping that they will be the one to do that. Welcome to Bird's Nest Media's coverage of the Philadelphia Eagles facing off against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Super Wild Card Weekend. It is the final game of Super Wild Card Weekend. I'm Joe Donahue. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, Dan, good to see you. Glad you stopped by in the chat for a minute. We are inside of 15 minutes left to play, left before kickoff here, so appreciate you all stopping by, appreciate you hanging out, joining us for this game. There's a pretty good sign. Sirianni eats plant-based cheesesteaks in the background of Monday Night Countdown in the lead up to this game. So that was a funny moment. I am definitely hoping for this Eagles team to pull out the victory, but we will see what happens. Again, the Eagles have to bring forward the best team that they've got, and over the course of the last several weeks, they simply have not been playing their best football. So we will see how that goes. Major players out for the Eagles tonight. Obviously, as reported in the injury reports, A.J. Brown is out for the game, dealing with a knee injury. Also, Sidney Brown out for the game with a knee injury. Reed Blankenship out for the game with a groin injury. All three of those players, big losses for the Eagles. Obviously, A.J. Brown being the number one wide receiver for the Philadelphia Eagles. For the other two, that actually leaves the team without starting safeties, which is a problem. Reed Blankenship and Sidney Brown both are of the team's safeties. Neither Blankenship nor Brown are in the game. We will expect to see Avonte Maddox lining up in the safety position. The Eagles did also elevate a couple of players in advance of the game just to try to stay on top of that. They elevated Mekhi Gardner and Tristan McCollum. So the two of them elevated for the Eagles. McCollum will actually be going up against his brother Zion McCollum. So that will be an interesting matchup to watch, or interesting facet of this game. Zion McCollum is a corner for the Buccaneers. So that is that there. We are about 10 minutes away from kickoff, so I appreciate you hanging out, stopping by, supporting the channel. Please feel free to like and subscribe. It really helps. Yeah, so again, a couple other folks out for the game. Tyler Steen, Rashad Penny for the Eagles. You guys, those of you who've been following the Eagles pretty closely know that those guys probably haven't started a lot this season. And then Mora Ojomo also not in the game. Definitely disappointing to see Ojomo on the sideline because of how good he is against the run. And then Tanner McKee, of course, being the emergency third quarterback. For the Buccaneers, the big question was whether or not Buccaneers starting quarterback Baker Mayfield was going to be in the game. He is going to start this game. He was questionable with an ankle and a rib injury through the week. He was limited in practice Friday and Saturday, but he is in the game. So he will be starting. And then you have Rakeem Jarrett, Brandon Walton, Marquise Watts, and J.J. Russell from the active roster, the 53-man roster. You have those guys on the sideline as well for this game. And then a couple of guys that are officially listed as practice squad members are inactive for this game. So that is where we are at. Definitely feel free to drop a comment in the chat. What are your thoughts heading into this game? It feels like morale is among the city is... I mean, it's always high when the Eagles are in the playoffs, but it doesn't feel as high as it should be. It definitely doesn't feel as high as normal. This was something actually I posted this article before we went live on Twitter, but Seamus Clancy over at Philly Voice pointed this out, and I gotta say, for the most part, I do agree. Like the team doesn't instill as much confidence this season, this playoff run, however long this is going to be, compared to previous appearances. So definitely something that gives a lot of pause, a lot of concern, but hopefully they'll be able to pull out the statement win that they need to be able to convince everybody that, you know what, the Eagles are still for real. Also helps the fact that the Cowboys were bounced out of the playoffs in the first round. So always a great sign when that team, always a great time of year when the Cowboys get bounced out of the playoffs, losing to the Packers 48-32, and for the most part that game was not as close as the score suggests. Cowboys didn't show up for much of the game, didn't show up really at all for the first half of that game. That was a statement win by the Packers there. The Bills just wrapped up their matchup against the Steelers just a few moments ago. 31-17 final score in that game. So that game is over, and the Bills will be going on to face off later. Yeah, I agree with you there, Dan. It definitely seems to be bad decision making just all around. Definitely poor play calling by the coaches. Definitely, I mean, A.J. Brown alluded to it recently when it came, or alluded to it in the lead up to the Giants game. The fact that it was Nick Sirianni had to cover for them a little bit in terms of freelancing. So he, I mean, there's definitely a lot of that. I do not disagree with you at all on that point. But nah, no time like the present to be able to fix that. Drop a comment in the chat too. I'd love to hear from you about, again, your thoughts about some of the other games of this wild card weekend that is wrapping up with this finale tonight. The most exciting, I think, was the Lions-Rams game that occurred last night. That was definitely a really exciting game. Yeah, Dan, let's hope they shake this funk tonight. Yeah, I absolutely agree. Nothing could do anybody any better than pounding the Buccaneers back into the ocean. that would be really good. Um, they're doing the pirate ship thing right now, so we are just a few minutes away from kickoff. We're about 5 minutes away, actually. The winner of this game does take on the Lions after the Lions defeated the Rams. Yep. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Dan. I absolutely agree. Yep. They're if the Eagles just win tonight's game, like it does not matter ultimately at the end of the day. If the Eagles will be back if they win tonight's game, especially given the Cowboys loss. Especially given the Cowboys loss. Um, yeah, so the winner of tonight's game goes on to face off against the Detroit Lions at 3 o'clock on the 21st. So that's kind of the middle game of the divisional round. First of the Sunday games. So that is going to be a whatever team faces off against them is going to be facing off. Whatever team wins tonight is going to be facing off against a Lions team that, I mean, you talk about playing with house money. The Lions definitely feel like, maybe to a lesser extent than other teams, but the Lions definitely feel like they're playing with house money a little bit. Because this season's already a success for them. They won a playoff game at home at Ford Field for the first time ever. For the first time at Ford Field ever. For the first time in since 1991, 32 years. So that's going to be an interesting sight to see when Ford Field hosts its second playoff game. But yeah, either team would have been dangerous or would have been a dangerous game. So, but it's definitely going to be an easier matchup than going up against the 49ers. So we will see how things pan out. Just waiting on the final updates here. Waiting to see who wins the toss. Again, I appreciate y'all hanging out. According to Lisa Salters, Jalen Hurts says that it's very annoying to have the injury to his middle finger going on. Not sure how it's going to go. He is wearing a glove for the first time in his career. So we're just waiting on things here. It's the final game of Wild Card Weekend. This Super Wild Card Weekend, as the NFL has been dubbing it for the last couple of years. So, it is 67 degrees down in Tampa Bay. Humidity is 87%. Very, very light winds at kickoff, 1 mile an hour, coming from the east. So, good night for football. Definitely a wild change of pace from the Buffalo Bills game that we were just watching, with the Bills game having to have been delayed due to the snow, and it was still quite snowy up there. So. You're just about a couple minutes or a couple moments away. They're doing the final song here, so. Appreciate you all joining, folks. Please feel free to like and subscribe. Definitely share to your social media channels. Definitely helps the channel out. We are about to get this underway. Looks like the Eagles won the toss and deferred, so the Buccaneers will get the ball to start this game. So we got Devin Tompkins back to return the kickoff. We got Jake Elliott coming up to kick this football away and get the final game of Wild Card Weekend and this Eagles playoff appearance underway. And the kick is away, and here we go, folks. And that goes out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So the Buccaneers will get the ball to start at their own 25-yard line. We have 1st and 10 coming up for the Buccaneers. And Mayfield is back in the gun, back to his right. Man in motion. Mayfield back, takes the snap, throwing, and overthrows incomplete. He was looking for Mike Evans, and that was going to bring up 2nd down. Referee for the game tonight is Adrian Hill, umpire Dwayne Haight. Down judge David Oliver, line judge Mark Stewart. Field judge Merrill Robinson, side judge Lo Van Pham, back judge Greg Steed. Mayfield is in the gun, back to his left. Mayfield takes the snap, back looking, throws. That is going to be caught. It is going to be for a 1st down. It gets out to about the 39-yard line. That is number 88, Cade Otton. Cade Otton, I believe, actually, is how you pronounce that. It was a cross route across the middle there. It was brought down by Avonte Maddox. Again, Maddox is going to be playing safety. Both of the Eagles' starting safeties are out for this game. Reed Blankenship out with a groin injury, and Sidney Brown out with a knee injury. Mayfield lining up under center. He got a back in the backfield. Mayfield takes the snap. He fakes the handoff back, looking, throwing, caught wide over the middle is Mike Evans. Wide open over the middle. That's a 21-yard pickup. Gets another 1st down to the Eagles' 39-yard line. And we are at about the 14-minute mark. Just a step away was Milton Williams there, but unfortunately Darius Slay didn't hang on his guy. So that brings up 1st and 10 for the Buccaneers from the Eagles' 39. Mayfield under center, takes the snap, hands it off. Hands off, gets down to about the 31-yard line is where he's going to get brought down. That was Rashad White. And that was an 8-yard pickup, so that brings up 2nd and 2. So we got 2nd and 2. Mayfield is under center. White in the backfield. Mayfield takes the snap, hands it off to White. White is going to pick up the 1st down. He gets that 2nd push, picks up about 3. Brings up 1st and 10 from the Eagles' 27-yard line. We are at 12:48, 47, 46, 45, 44, 43 in the event you want to sync. 12:40, 12:39, 12:38, 12:37, 12:36. There's your sync count there. right, so it's 1st and 10. We got Mayfield in the gun. We got a back in the backfield. Mayfield takes the snap, hands it off to White. White is going to power forward, gets to about the 20. Going to bring up 2nd down and short again. Brings up 2nd and 3 specifically. Buccaneers moving quickly down the field here. Yo, Dan, good to see you. Good to see you. What's up right now? As Eagles defense letting the Buccaneers move down the field pretty quickly. That's what's going on. All right, so we got Mayfield in the gun, back behind him. Mayfield takes the snap, fakes the handoff. Mayfield back, throwing, incomplete. He was looking once again for Cade Otton and could not get him. Hassan Reddick was coming in as a free guy, almost had Mayfield in the backfield. So clock is stopped at 11:41 right now. That brings up 3rd and 3. This is the first 3rd down for the Buccaneers. Be good for the Eagles to get a 3rd down stop right now. Mayfield in the gun, back to his left. Mayfield takes the snap. He's back. He's looking. Quick throw to White, and White is going to break the first tackle and gets up to about the 1st down marker, and they will give it to him. It is a 1st down. No worries, Dan. No worries. That was some bad tackling there by Bradbury. Bradbury just kind of like bounced off of him. Definitely bad tackling there. But it does give the Buccaneers a 1st down and 10 from the Eagles' 17-yard line. We are at 11 minutes. 10:59, 10:58, 10:57. Mayfield in the gun, back to his right. Mayfield takes the snap, back, looking, throwing. Hassan Reddick's coming, trying to sack him. Mayfield does slide down at the 9, so Mayfield is they will actually mark him down at the 11. So it's really a pickup of about 7 yards. Yeah, Dan the Corn Man's a 49ers fan. I don't know why I let him in this chat here. All right. This is a 9-play, 65-yard drive. It's taken almost 5 minutes. Mayfield in the gun, back to his right, takes a snap, throws, looking for Otton, and is unable to find him. Bounces off his hands. That was a touchdown if he does catch that. That was in and out of his hands. You hate to see that. All right. Well, you do like to see that if you're an Eagles fan there. But it's going to bring up 3rd and 3 again. Eagles need another big 3rd down stop here. Thanks, Dan. Love to see. Appreciate you hanging out, Cornman. Mayfield in the gun, back, looking, throwing, overthrows Palmer and is incomplete. And that brings up 4th down, and the Eagles able to come up with a big 3rd down stop deep in their own territory. Forces the Buccaneers to settle for a field goal. So we got Chase McLaughlin coming on. This is going to be a 28-yard attempt. Holder is Jake Camarda. Snap, hold, kick is good. So with 10 minutes and 2 seconds left in the first quarter, the Buccaneers strike first with a score of 3-0. So, Buccaneers making short work of this Eagles secondary. Again, it's been thinned out a little bit with injury. Rashad White picked up 19 yards on 3 carries, and then Baker Mayfield had his own 7-yard run. Baker Mayfield went 3 for 7 in the passing game on that drive. That was a 12-play, 65-yard drive, took 4 minutes and 58 seconds off of the clock. I will say the biggest thing I wasn't thrilled, and definitely drop a comment in the chat. Definitely drop comments in the chat about how you're feeling about this game. Field goal's a moral victory, yeah. Yeah, 19-yard run. 19 yards on the ground there for Rashad White. 7 yards on the ground for Mayfield. And then there was a lot of bad tackling. I did not like the tackling that was evident there. But yeah, we'll see if the Eagles offense is able to turn it on here and able to come back from this. I will say during their first matchup, the Eagles allowed just 41 rushing yards against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They've allowed 19 on their first drive. Or 19, 20... six, I believe, on their first drive. McLaughlin on to kick it away, and that's going to go out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So the Eagles coming on to get this started. Yeah, 26 on their first drive, allowed by the defense. So the Eagles have allowed more than half of the rushing yards that they allowed in their entire game, in their entire Week 3 matchup against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the first drive. Not great, bud. So Hurts is in the gun. We got DeAndre Swift behind him. Devontae Smith lines out to the far side. Hurts takes the snap. Hands it off to Swift. Swift going to bounce out to the outside. Gets up to the 30. Gets to the 34-yard line, just a hair short of the first down marker. It's going to bring up 2nd and 1, and I would not be surprised if we see our first brotherly shove of the night. Let's get a quick first down and keep things moving here. We'll see how Jalen Hurts' finger injury and the fact that he's wearing a glove impacts the run game, too. I would love to see a little bit more run game, a little bit more consistent run game here. There will not be a brotherly shove called on this play. Hurts is in the gun. We got Swift to his right. Dallas Goedert going in motion. Hurts takes the snap, hands it off to Swift. Swift going to break forward, picks up the first down, gets about 3. So that's going to bring up 1st and 10, gets up to the 36-yard line. The Eagles got to this. I understand you, Dan, but the Eagles got to this. I know. I was hoping you were. I was hoping you were joking there on that one. All right, we got Hurts in the gun with an empty backfield. We got Devontae Smith in the slot to the near side. Hurts takes the snap, back, looking, throwing, and that is going to be caught by Julio Jones at the 40. So that is going to bring up a 2nd and 6 for the Eagles. It's the first pass of the game for the Eagles. It's a 4-yard pickup. So far, so good. Yep, I agree. We got Hurts in the gun. We got Swift to his right. Goddard goes in motion. Hurts takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Swift. Throws caught by Dallas Goddard. Goddard fighting off players and gets up to about the 43-yard line. They will actually credit him to the 44. So 3rd and 2 now for the Eagles. Now here, I would like to see a run. I'd like to see us go back to the run because we had some good run progress here. And all you need is 2 yards. And even if you only get one of them, you get the brotherly shove next. But instead, they're going to do an empty backfield, and now they're going to move Kenny Gainwell up to Hurts' left. Hurts is in the gun. We got Goddard wide out to the near side. Hurts takes the snap. He's back. He's looking. He's throwing. Looking for Goddard. Incomplete. It was batted down, and that is going to bring up 4th and 2 for the Eagles, and that is not how you wanted to start this drive, start this game, because the Eagles are now going off of the field with no points. They were driving well, they were doing good, and then you had some bad decision making. It does look like Hurts was hit during the throw, but it was bad decision making, bad play calling. Just hand the ball off there. You only needed 2 yards. We got Braden Mann on to pump this away here, and he does. And that is going to get fielded at the 20-yard line. Fair caught by Devin Tompkins. So the Buccaneers going to go back to work. I know, Dan. I know. This was not the start. Unfortunately, not the start that Eagles fans were looking for. They were going well, and then we had poor play calling, poor decision making on 3rd down and 2. Because you only need 2 yards, and this Eagles team, and this is something that's been bothering me about Brian Johnson and Nick Sirianni and the way that they construct this offense, is that this team is designed for the explosive play, and the explosive play isn't always what you want. You want to keep the drive going. You want a long, sustained drive. That's what they did at the end of their first matchup against the Buccaneers. When the Buccaneers gave the Eagles the ball back with 9 minutes and 22 seconds left in the game, and the Eagles didn't give it back up. And the way that you do that is you make smart decisions, play calling, at the line, whatever. You make smart play calls. And in this case, you need to keep the drive going. That's the more important thing here. Like, you don't need to be shooting for it all on 3rd down. Oy. The other thing, Jeff McClain just pointed this out. Hurts was hit by a blitzer, so the Eagles' offense still no answer for the blitz. And the Buccaneers, 3rd best blitz defense in the NFL right now. So, all right, we got 1st and 10. Ball is on the 21. Mayfield in the gun, back to his left, and now we've got our first flag of the game. So we are going to hear from Adrian Hill, the referee. It's his 2nd career postseason game as a referee, and it is a false start against Palmer. That'd be Trey Palmer, the wide receiver, so that is going to bring up 1st and 15, marches them all the way back to the 16-yard line. So we have Mayfield now in the gun. We've got a back to his right. Mayfield takes a snap back, looking, throwing, caught wide open downfield, first down, and that is number. Who is that? There is a flag down, though. I'm sorry, Dan. Sorry you got booted from the stream. And that's going to be a face mask on the Eagles. They got Zach Cunningham for a face mask. That's going to tack on 15 yards to that play. That was David Moore on the reception. That was a 22-yard pass. No worries. No worries. First and 10. Ball's on the Eagles' 47-yard line following the penalty. Mayfield under center, takes the snap, fakes the handoff, looking for it all, and incomplete. He was looking for Mike Evans and just out of reach. That's a touchdown if he catches that one. That was through his hands. That was through his hands, incomplete. James Bradbury there on the coverage, but that ball was placed perfectly, actually, on the replay. Mayfield in the gun, back to his left. Mayfield takes the snap, hands it off to Rashad White. White going to pick up about 3. Going to bring up 3rd and 7 for the Buccaneers from the Eagles' 44. We are at 6 minutes left in this first quarter. 3rd and 7. Mayfield in the gun, back to his left. Mayfield takes the snap, back, looking, throws, caught wide open down the center of the field. Is Moore, and Moore is going to cut up field and is going to get in for the touchdown. And that, once again, folks, is why you try to score on every single drive, because this Eagles team is not inspiring confidence at all. That was a 44-yard touchdown pass. It was Baker Mayfield passing to Moore. That is David Moore. It was a 4-play, 79-yard drive that took 1 minute and 20 seconds. And he was left wide open. McLaughlin's kick is good right down the middle. That makes it 10-0 in favor of Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay just wants it more right now, guys. This Eagles team's got to get back into action here. .547 left in the first quarter. Eagles behind by 2 scores. This is disheartening, folks. I appreciate you hanging out, but this is not a good start. Not a good start for this Eagles team. They need to come back, need to do something here. I know. I know, Dan. Offense has to get it together. There is no excuse. There is no excuse for this team doing anything or that it's doing right now. I mean, the offense. I will say this again: the offense was able to keep the ball moving on their first drive a little bit. They had the pieces, but they didn't make the best decisions. And I think again that goes back to the play calling that occurred on the second set of downs that the Eagles got on that first drive. Defense giving up way too much. There's way too much middle of the field being left open. Way too much. Way too many open guys. Way too many guys getting beat. No part of this is acceptable right now. Eagles are 2 for 3 on third downs. You lost audio? Can you hear me? Going to go out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. I can hear me, so. I can hear me, so. Yeah, I can hear me on the monitor, so. I don't know. I don't know if it was something on your end, but I can hear me on the monitor that's coming in through YouTube here. We got Hurts in the gun. We got a back to his left. 5:47 left in the first quarter. Hurts in the gun, takes a snap, hands it off to Swift. Swift going to pick up 4. Now choppy video. Let me see if I can tweak something. Yaya Diaby is on the Yaya Diaby is down right now, so we're in an injury timeout. All right. Hopefully he's okay. Eagles going back to work. It's 2nd and 7. Ball's on the 28-yard line. So Hurts is in the gun. Back to his left. Hurts takes a snap. Fakes the handoff to Swift. Throws. Caught by Quez Watkins. Gets up to about the 33-yard line. That's going to bring up third down for the Eagles. So 3rd and 3, ball's on the 32. There you go. Okay. All right, Hurts is in the gun, empty backfield. Pass coming. This Eagles, we'll see here. Hurts takes the snap back, looking, quick throw, incomplete, looking for Goddard, and it's a 3 and out. 4th down, 2 yards to go. 4th down, 3 yards to go, actually. I apologize. 4:35 in the game. 4:35 in the first quarter, and this Eagles team has got nothing going on. Nothing going on here. And he had Julio Jones kind of open. He had Olamide Zaccheaus open. And he goes for Dallas Goedert, who is double covered. Braden Mann on to punt it away. And he does, and that's going to get fielded at the 13 and gets brought back up to the 20 to the 24-yard line. And that's going to be where the Buccaneers start up with 4:22 left to play in the first quarter. Eagles got nothing going. Hey. Third and 3, and let's throw the football, right? Because, I mean, DeAndre Swift has 14 yards on 3 carries, so let's throw the football on 3rd and short. Because that makes perfect sense. I know it's just first quarter. It's first quarter jitters, but it's the same it's the same song and dance we've been seeing for the last few weeks. That's my issue with this. That's where my concern is. That's why I'm on edge right now. And this Eagles team shouldn't have first quarter jitters in the playoffs. They just shouldn't. That's where I'm at this point. And especially if Hurts is wearing the glove for the first time and throwing the football, or for the first time on his throwing hand, run the football more. Mayfield in the gun, back behind him. Mayfield takes a snap, hands it off. Going to pick up about 4. Brings up 2nd and 6. That was Chase Edmonds. You want to get off on a fast start against this team. Mayfield in the gun, back behind him. 2nd and 6, 3:45 left. Mayfield takes a snap, throws, caught by Edmonds. Edmonds going to pick up the first down, gets out of bounds at the 36-yard line. 1st and 10. We got 3:36 left to play in the first quarter here. Eagles still have yet to show up. Play clock is counting down. 3:11, 3:10. Mayfield under center, takes the snap, back, looking, does a quick handoff off to Mike Evans. Evans going to bounce out side. I'm sorry, that's not Evans. That is Trey Palmer, but gets up to about the 40-ish, gets to the 44-yard line. So they will actually credit him to the 45, so it's going to be 2nd and 1. So we'll see how the Eagles defense chooses to not block this team here. "18 plays for 155 yards have held the ball for 7 minutes and 45 seconds, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Eagles have had 8 plays this game. Mayfield under center, takes the snap, hands it off, and they're going to pick up a first down. Picks up 2. Actually, they will only credit him for 1, fortunately. Only gets to the 46-yard line. That was Chase Edmonds up to the 46-yard line. Brought down by Nolan Smith, but it doesn't matter because we're at the 2-minute mark in the first quarter, and it's 1st and 10. Ball is on the Buccaneers 46. The Buccaneers have established themselves in this first quarter here as a team that wants to control this game. Mayfield in the gun, back to his left. Mayfield takes the snap, hands it off to Rachaad White, who is, for the first time this game, dropped in the backfield. Loses 3 yards. Couldn't find the hole. Brandon Graham able to bring him down with some help. Got some help from Nolan Smith and Nicholas Morrow. We are approaching 1 minute left in the first quarter. Mayfield in the gun, back to his right. Mayfield takes a snap, back, looking, throwing up the middle, caught, and that's going to be the first down. Gets to about the 40 to the 35-yard line. Thank God Nicholas Morrow didn't get a horse collar there. That's going to get up to the 40. Where did that get stopped? That got brought down at the 33-yard line, and that was Auten. So. Chase Auten, yeah, Nicholas Morrow. Glad he didn't grab that jersey much higher. Mayfield under center, takes a snap, hands it off to White. White is going to get stopped at the line of scrimmage, picks up a yard. Nicholas Morrow, Josh Sweat there on the stop. And that is going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. We got 15 minutes. 15 minutes of the way through this game, and the Eagles haven't inspired anybody yet. It is 10-0. Fun fact, Dom DeSandro is back on the sideline. Yep. I agree. The Eagles needed to come out to a fast start against this Buccaneers team, and they didn't. They did not. They lost the first quarter, and there are 45 minutes of play left in this game, so we'll see how that pans out, but I don't know. I got this gut feeling that my post-game episode today is going to be the Eagle season is over. I've just got this gut feeling. Can't really... I hope I'm wrong. I hope the Eagles turn it on in the rest of this game here, but... Rachaad White already approaching the... Rachaad White already has 19 yards. And the Buccaneers only had 41 yards in their entire game last time the Eagles and the Buccaneers met. And I mean, A.J. Brown called a players-only meeting, saying that the team needed to start trusting its coaches, which Mike Florio of Pro Football Talk put very, very bluntly, means they haven't been trusting their coaches to this point. And that's bad news bears for the coaches. So, I don't know. I was hopeful coming into this game. This first quarter gives me no confidence. All right, we're back. We're at the start of the second quarter. Mayfield in the gun, back to his left. Auten going in motion. Mayfield takes a snap, fakes the handoff to White. Mayfield back, looking, pressure coming. Mayfield is sacked. Mayfield is sacked by Josh Sweat, and that is a good sight to see, at least. Loss of 4 yards on that brings up 3rd down and 13. So 3rd down and 2 sticks. All right, Eagles defense making a play here. We'll see if the Eagles are going to be able to hold them to less than 13 yards. Have to get to the 23-yard line for the 1st down of the Eagles. Mayfield in the gun, back to his left. Mayfield takes a snap, back, looking, has all day, pressure coming, throws, nearly intercepted, brings up 4th down. Nearly intercepted by Zach Cunningham. All right, okay. All right. Eagles coming up with a 3rd down stop. Will not keep the Buccaneers from scoring, most likely. Buccaneers will be in the shadow of their own midfield marker on a field goal, but yeah, Zach Cunningham almost had that interception. But they are going to send out Chase McLaughlin for a 54-yard attempt here. And the snap hold kick is up, and it is good. We've got 14:03 left in the first half, and it's been all Buccaneers, 13-0. We'll see what the Eagles decide to do to try to jumpstart the offense now. Definitely drop some comments in the chat. Would love to hear from you. That was Josh Sweat's first sack since November 5th. I don't know. The whole team just feels out of it. The whole team just feels out of it. And, I mean, losing does that, definitely. I agree with that point. But my concern with, Jalen's saying we're not playing up to the standard, and he's been saying that since week 1, for the most part. He's been saying since training camp that this team needs to find its identity. Honestly, the identity of the 2023 Eagles, if you're playing and you're still trying to find your identity in week 17, week 18 of the regular season, your identity is a lackluster team. If you're playing like this and you're saying you're trying to find the identity, your identity is a lackluster team. And the 10 wins that you got at the start of the season, with the exception of a couple, were ugly wins. They just were. Systrom, glad to see you stop by. That is the one solace that Eagles fans can take this week. That's one thing that kind of injected a little bit of life back into the city, was the Cowboys getting bounced out. But I was definitely surprised that they were the ones that were bounced out of there. Camarda going to kick that one out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So the Eagles will get the ball now to start their drive, and maybe their drive will do something. 1st and 10 from the 25. You a Cowboys fan, Systrom? All right. We got Jalen Hurts in the gun. We got it back to his left. Dallas Goedert going in motion. Hurts takes the snap, back, looking, pressure coming, throws. It is at the feet of Devontae Smith, incomplete. Well, Systrom, I mean, I'm glad that you're hanging out on an Eagles stream here. Hope you appreciate you stopping by and supporting the channel. Cowboys fans can be civil. Yard line, it gets down to the Buccaneers 44-yard line. Big play there, brought down by Zion McCollum, and that is going to bring up a Eagles first down. Smith running a cross route across the middle, wide open. Hurts in the gun, empty backfield. Hurts takes the snap, back, looking, pressure coming, throws. That's going to be caught by Devontae Smith again, down around the 40. Going to break a few tackles, gets to the 35, 34-yard line. That is a first down, gets pushed out of bounds at the 32. So we got 13:08 left in this first half. That would be an interesting matchup there, Systrom. I definitely agree with that. I would certainly prefer my Eagles getting there, but Hurts in the gun, back to his left. Hurts takes the snap. Quick throw to Watkins. Watkins going to barely get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe picks up a yard. They will credit him up to the 30, so it's actually going to be a 2-yard pickup. Yeah, Lions-Packers would be an interesting NFC Championship game. I would not mind seeing that one. But that is, again, contingent on the fact that the Eagles do not make it there. Hurts is in the gun. We got it back to his left. Julio Jones is wide out to the near side. Hurts calling for the football. Takes a snap, fakes the handoff to Swift. Hurts is going to keep it himself, and he's going to run and get pushed out of bounds right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 8. It's a bad read, unfortunately, on that one. Would have liked to see DeAndre Swift had the lane. So we are inside of 12 minutes left in this first half. This drive is a 5-play, 45-yard drive. Hurts is in the gun. We got it back to his left. That would be Kenny Gainwell, it looks like. Hurts takes the snap, back, looking. Pressure coming, throws, incomplete. It was tipped. He was looking for Devontae Smith. It is going to bring up 4th and 8 from the Buccaneers 30. We will probably see Jake Elliott coming on to attempt the field goal here. Most likely. We'll see what winds up happening on that front there. Coverage was by Jamel Dean. And yes, we will see Jake Elliott on to keep this from being a shutout. 47-yard attempt, snap, hold, kick is up and good. All right, Eagles fans, you can breathe a little bit. It's not going to be a shutout at least. 11:31 left in the first half, and the Eagles hop on the scoreboard. It is 13-3. I know, Dan. I know. DeAndre Swift has 3 carries for 14 yards. He's been the only rusher to to log a rushing stat this game. Because Jalen Hurts, he did run once, but he got no yards out of it, so he doesn't get a rushing stat. Actually, how did they characterize that one? Let me go back a couple plays and see. They officially called that a sack, so that's why he doesn't have a running stat. Never mind. I don't. I don't know. Yeah, the Eagles definitely. I agree. The Eagles still need to run the ball a lot more than they are, and especially trying to put whatever pressure on Jalen Hurts to throw the ball with whatever injury he sustained to his middle finger, and how he's still trying to deal with that. The fact that the Eagles are running the ball not nearly as frequently, and especially when it was working very effectively. Or in the early part of this game, the fact that the Eagles have gotten away from it so quickly, which they've been consistently doing over the course of the last several weeks, they've been consistently getting away from having a consistent run game. That's the frustration about this. Elliott on to kick this away, and that is going to go out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. I believe it does, actually. I believe it does go down as negative yards. Because if you ever actually look at it, it does, like, the playlist, it'll say, like, kneels for -1. So, Mayfield, starting at the 25, under center, back in the backfield. Mayfield takes the snap, fakes the handoff to White, pressure coming. Mayfield throws behind the line of scrimmage, and that is going to get brought down around the 29-yard line, and that is Devin Tompkins. I'd have to double check. I'll double check to see at some point what that is, but yeah, I don't think the when I see it on here, I actually do see, because I have a stats board over here that I watch as well. It helps me out when I call this game. It shows, like, loss of yards here. Mayfield in the gun, back to his left, takes a snap. Mayfield back, looking, throwing, just out of the reach of Mike Evans, incomplete. Brings up 3rd and 6. Can we have a 3 and out? Can we have a 3 and out? Can this defense force a 3 and out? Love to see this defense just force a 3 and out here. Mayfield takes the snap, back, pressure coming. Mayfield's going to take it himself. He's going to run, and he's going to get to the first down marker, and then he's going to get the first down. Well, that's a good gift for a Cowboys fan there, Systrom. Glad she was able to find that for you. So the Buccaneers pick up the first down. Eagles unable to provide a 3rd down stop on there, unable to force a 3 and out, and it does bring up 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. It looks like. Mayfield in the gun, back behind him. Mayfield takes the snap, hands it off to White. White is going to get stopped at the line of scrimmage, maybe picks up a yard. They will credit him for a yard. It is 2nd and 9. Eagles defense needs to step up here. 2nd and 9. Ball is on the 39 of the Buccaneers. Mayfield takes the snap back, does a quick throw, and that is going to be caught. And going to get up to the first down marker is Tompkins. He fights like 3 tackles, and their Eagles continue to be unable to tackle. And that's going to give the Buccaneers a first down. No worries. Yeah, no, you're not bragging. That's a good gift for a Cowboys fan. I'm not disputing that at all. That was a 10-yard pickup on a third, or on a whatever there. It's a 10-yard pickup on 2nd and 9. Mayfield takes a snap, back looking, throws, and that is going to be incomplete. He was looking for Cade Otton, and Otton was not able to get there. And that does bring up 2nd and 10. Sarap is like one of those little covers, right? One of those covers? Yeah. Okay, so we've got 8:33 left in this first half. Mayfield in the gun, empty backfield. Mayfield takes the snap, back, looking, throws, and that is going to be caught and is going to fight for a bunch of yards, maybe gets to the first down marker, maybe just a hair short. They will say it is 3rd and 1, gets up to the 42-yard line of the Eagles. Yeah, like the poncho. Yeah, I knew what, I was struggling for the word there, but I knew what it was. Yeah, I hear you. All right, 3rd and 1. Mayfield in the gun, back to his right. That would be Rachaad White lining up. Mayfield takes a snap, hands it off to White. White is going to not get there. White is not going to get there. That is a 3rd down stop for the Eagles. And the Eagles today, so far through this game on 3rd down, Eagles defense is 3 for 6. Which is not great, bud, but it's also, an improvement from before. And now we got 4th and 1, and the Buccaneers are leaving the offense out on the field. 7:10 left in the first half of this game. Mayfield lines up under center. Man in motion. Mayfield takes a snap, quick dump off to White. White is going to pick up the first down easily there. Gets down to around the 35-yard line, and that is going to bring up 1st and 10. Dan, you like to call them a neck dress? Nice. Yeah, it is still early at Systrom. I'm not disputing that. We'll see here. That was just unfortunately, a really well executed run play there. 6:26 left in this first half. Mayfield in the gun, takes the snap, quick throw, and it's going to get, it's incomplete. It was Edmonds. He was looking for him. They were still playing it as if it was a backward lateral, but it was not backwards even at all. So, Chase Edmonds there on the as the target, and that does bring up 2nd and 10 from the Eagles' 35-yard line. Clock is stopped at 6:19. I'm sorry, they put some more time back on. 6:22 is where the clock is stopped. I was off of the hands of Edmonds. Mayfield in the gun, empty backfield. Mayfield takes the snap back, looking, throws, and that is going to be caught. He was looking for it, and it was caught by Cade Otton. So that is going to, but that's going to be caught at around the 30, so it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. brought down by Nicholas Morrow. Third and 5. Can the Eagles come up with another big third down stop? We'll see. It is third and short. Mayfield is in the gun. He's got a back in front of him to his left. Now Mayfield takes the snap, back looking, throws. It is tipped and incomplete, tipped by Zach Cunningham. And the Eagles do bring up that third down stop. It is 4th and 5. We will probably see the field goal unit come on once again here. Yeah, there have not been too many flags this game so far. There have been there have been 2 penalties so far in this first half. Refs have been quiet today. 48-yard try for McLaughlin. And a snap hold kick is good. Bucks make it a 2-touchdown game once again. It is 5:35 left in the first half. Buccaneers 16, Eagles 3. Quick summary of the possessions here for each team. The Eagles punt, field goal. I know. Yep. They're either going to do that or it's going to be they're going to get themselves into like 3rd and 3 and then throw like bubble screen and get dropped for 5 yards. Eagles drive so far: punt, field goal. Buccaneers drive: field goal, touchdown, field goal, field goal. And holding the Buccaneers to field goals is great, but it only works if your offense is able to score field goals or touchdowns. And not scoring on the first 2 drives, and especially not making the right decisions on the play calling on those first 2 drives, bad. Not conducive for that at all. All right. Buccaneers on to kick this away here. Camarda on to kick it off. And that is going to go out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So the Eagles get the ball to start on their own 25, and once again hoping that the Eagles do something here to kickstart whatever is necessary. Appreciate you all hanging out. Please feel free to like and subscribe to Bird's Nest Media. It really helps the channel out. We'll see what we got. We'll try to have some interesting things coming up in the off season whenever that arrives. Again, hopefully it's later than this game. Love to see the Eagles make a playoff run, a deep run here. Hurts is in the gun. Sends Swift in motion, split backs. Hurts takes the snap, fakes the handoff, throws. There was a Buccaneers player already in the backfield at the snap, and now we've got a flag coming in here. So we're going to check on this flag. It is incomplete. And they're going to, this is going to be against the Eagles. And it is ineligible mana downfield for, they got Cam Jurgens for that. So that is going to cost the Eagles 5 yards. So that'll bring up 1st and 15 from the Eagles' 20-yard line. Yeah, he got a couple yards too far downfield. All right, so Hurts is in the gun. We got a back to his right. That'd be Swift. Hurts takes a snap, back, looking, throwing, caught by Julio Jones, picks up about 4. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Gets the Eagles back to the 24-yard line. Running clock, we got 5:21, 5:20, 5:19, 5:18, 5:17 left in this first half. First half stats right now say it all. Buccaneers have had the ball for 17 minutes and 33 seconds of this first half compared to the Eagles' 7 minutes. Hurts is in the gun. We got a back to his left. Sends Goddard wide out. Hurts takes the snap. Fakes the throw to Goddard. Throws. Caught by Julio Jones for the first down. Julio Jones stays up and inbounds. Gets to about the 38-yard line. And that is going to bring up a first down for the Eagles. And now the refs are stopping the clock here. They're dealing with something. Yeah, I mean, pass on first down, I don't deny that. That's a poor play call, but yeah. Looked like Julio fumbled that football there for a minute, but he did fall on it, which is good. All right, so Hurts is in the gun. 1st and 10. Ball is on the 38-yard line. Back behind him. Hurts takes the snap, hands it off, and that is going to pick up about a yard. Gets up to the 39. Clock is running. We got 4:25 left to play in the first half here. Yeah, thank God Julio fell on top of that because he loses control of the football there. Yep, Eagles do get the ball first to start the second half. That is true. Thanks, Dan. That only works if the Eagles offense is able to get cooking. Eagles need to find the end zone. 3:57 left in the game in the first half here. Hurts in the gun, back to his left. Hurts takes the snap, back, looking, throwing deep, going for it all. He's got Devontae Smith down at the 5-yard line, and that is a catch and a 1st and goal for the Eagles. The farthest into the Buccaneers territory they've gotten this game. And we have 3:34 left in the first half here. Big strike. Big strike, and it is 1st and goal from the 5. That ball was placed perfectly for Devontae Smith to get that one. All right, so we got Hurts now in the gun. We got Swift to his right. Dallas Goedert going in motion. Hurts takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Swift, throws to Goddard, caught, touchdown, Eagles. And the Philadelphia Eagles find the end zone for the first time this game. And it becomes now a 1-score game. On a 5-yard touchdown pass to Dallas Goedert. It took them 5 plays to go 75 yards, 2 minutes and 29 seconds taken off of the clock. But the Eagles are back within striking distance here. Jake Elliott on to kick this extra point. Snap, hold, kick is up, and it is good. There is a flag down because one of the Buccaneers players jumped. So we're going to check this. Sirianni is signaling he wants to go for 2. So they will enforce this on the try. Yep, they got Zion McCollum, brother of Tristan McCollum, who's playing for the Eagles. The Eagles are going to go for probably their first brotherly shove attempt of this game here. Make it a 5-point game if they are able to convert. Yeah, they got Zion McCollum, and Sirianni was saying, let's go for 2. So, yep, brotherly shove incoming here. Hurts lines up for the brotherly shove. Takes a snap, and he's powering forward. Does he get it? They didn't say he didn't. They're running in. They're saying no good. They're saying no good. Attempt fails. A rare does not work for the Eagles. And yeah, he does not cross the plane of that goal line. He does not cross the plane of that goal line, so that it is going to remain a 7-point game. Rare attempt for the brotherly shove to not work there. That 55-yard pass from Jalen Hurts to Devontae Smith is the 3rd longest offensive play of the year for the Philadelphia Eagles. That's according to Dave Zangaro of NBC Sports Philadelphia. And yeah. But you know what? This Eagles team is giving a pulse. And now we just got to see how the Eagles defense is able to respond there. Jake Elliott on to kick this away. And that is going to go out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So the Buccaneers will get the ball to start on their own 25-yard line. They keep showing the replay of this brotherly shove. And I don't blame them because it is novel that the Eagles didn't get it. But yeah, Eagles defense needs to come in. You are absolutely right, Dan. Eagles defense needs to come in and ride the shot in the arm. Mayfield in the gun, takes the snap, hands it off to White. White going to bounce out to the outside. White is going to get dropped about... he is... actually, you know what? They're giving him up to the 36. So, first down for the Buccaneers. are also trying to rip Hurts' helmet off. Yeah, one-score game is definitely something here. We got Hurts in the... we got Mayfield in the gun. Got it back to his right. Mayfield takes the snap, fakes the handoff to White. Mayfield back, looking. Pressure is coming. Mayfield hit as he throws, incomplete. He was looking for Chase. He was not looking for... He was looking for Chris Godwin. I apologize. And that is going to bring up 2nd and 10 for the Buccaneers. 2:20 left in the first half. Both teams do have all 3 timeouts. Mayfield under center. Back behind him. 2nd and 10. Mayfield takes the snap, fakes the handoff. Back, looking, throwing. Caught wide open is... Cade Otton. He does get tackled. It is a 20-yard pickup, though. Brings up 1st and 10. Gets down to the Eagles' 44-yard line. Bradbury having to cover most of the field to be able to have a chance to be able to bring down Otton there. But that is going to bring us to the 2-minute warning. And we are at 16-9 in favor of the Buccaneers right now. Julio Jones is being evaluated for concussion protocol, so he is probably... We might not see him. We'll see what happens. Let me know what your thoughts are in the chat. Would love to hear from you. We're going to have 1st and 10 from the Eagles 45 when we come back from the 2-minute warning. So we are just hanging out here. Appreciate you all stopping by. Mayfield in the gun, back to his left. Defense needs a pulse. Mayfield takes the snap, back, looking, throwing. Deep, overthrows Chris Godwin. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 10. 1:55 left in the first half. The Eagles do get the ball to start the second half. Both teams playing for the chance to go to Detroit to face off against the Detroit Lions. That game will be Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern. If the Eagles make it there, we will definitely have coverage. But yes, we do have 1:55 left in the first half. Mayfield in the gun, back to his left. Mayfield takes the snap. Pressure coming. Mayfield throws incomplete. He was looking for Rashad White and could not get it. bounces off of them. 3rd and 10. Eagles need a big 3rd down stop. $1:52 left in this first half. Mayfield is coming up to the line. We've got an empty backfield. A little bit of a hurry up. Mayfield. And now we've got a timeout called by the Eagles. So the Eagles will take their first charge timeout of the half. They have 2 remaining. Be nice if the Eagles have are able to get that 3rd down stop here, keep it a 1-possession game. Ball's on their 45, so again, it would be a super long field goal if the Bucs were to try to send out McLaughlin to make it. We got 3rd and 10. Eagles can give up to 9 yards here. Mayfield in the gun. We've got an empty backfield. Otten goes in the slot to the near side. Mayfield making some calls at the line. Mayfield takes the snap. Back, looking. Pressure coming. Mayfield is going to get sacked, and that pushes the Buccaneers back into Buccaneers territory, and that is probably going to result in a punt. And that does, the clock does stop at 1:42. There is a little bit of kerfuffling going on right now. Eagles defense excited about that big 3rd down stop, big 3rd down sack. That makes the 2nd sack of the game for the Eagles defense, and that is by far and away the biggest one yet. Sack is going to be credited to Brandon Graham. And if Mayfield's able to avoid that, he had Rashad White there. Eagles take their second charge timeout, so that's why the clock stopped. So we got the punting unit on. Jake Camarda for the first time for the Buccaneers will punt it away. And that is going to get booted and fielded down and muffed down at the 5. And Britton Covey lucky to be able to fall on that one at the 9. Oh, that was almost disastrous for the Eagles there. Would have given the Bucs first down deep, 1st and goal deep in Eagles territory. That would have been rough. But he muffed it, but he was able to recover it. Barely fell onto it at the 9. And then no gain after that. He was marked down. So, a little scary there for the Eagles. Definitely, that was a scary punt there. Appreciate you all hanging out. Please feel free to like and subscribe. Really helps the channel out. Got some interesting things we're going to try to get accomplished over the course of the off season whenever that rolls around. But I am going to be bringing you every Eagles playoff game and analysis and what have you, following the playoff games. So definitely please feel free to like and subscribe. Really helps the channel. Again, the winner of this game goes on to play the Detroit Lions at Ford Field. First time the Lions will be hosting the divisional round at Ford Field. So that is going to be an exciting game one way or the other. So the Eagles have the ball at their own 9-yard line. They have one timeout and 93 seconds on the clock to move 91 yards. Hurts is going to be in the gun with an empty backfield. Now there's changes going on the Bucs end. Hurts takes the snap. Quick throw over to Kenny Gainwell. Gainwell going to pick up about 9 there. Gets up to about the 18-yard line, just a hair short of the first down marker. And that does bring up 2nd and 1. Clock is running. We got 1:14, 1:13, 1:12. Hurts in the gun. Gainwell to his left. Hurts takes the snap. Hands it off to Gainwell. Gainwell slips, but is able to pick it up and is able to get to the first down marker. So it is a pickup of 1, but it gets the Eagles moving the chains. We are inside of a minute left in this game, or in this first half here. Hurts signaling. Hurts takes a snap. Back. Looking. Rolling, throwing, out of bounds, incomplete. Going to bring up 2nd down and 10. Clock stopped at 40 seconds. That took 6 seconds off the clock from snap to throw. So, unfortunately, while I'm glad that Hurts was able to throw it away and avoid the sack, you need to get rid of that a little bit quicker. The Eagles do get the ball to start the second half. Yes, they do, Seistrom. So we got Hurts in the gun now. We got a back to his left. That would be Kenny Gainwell. Hurts takes the snap. Back. Looking. Throwing. Has the man, Devontae Smith, for the first down. He is tackled inbounds, and that is going to cause the Eagles to use their final timeout of the half. Clock stops at 32 seconds. That was Devontae Smith's 4th catch of the game on 6 targets. He's already racked up 111 yards. Next receiver is Julio Jones, who has 3 catches on 3 targets for 22 yards. Julio is again being evaluated for a concussion. We'll see if he is able to return. So we got Hurts now lining everybody up. He is in the gun with a back to his right. The back is Gainwell. Hurts takes the snap. Back, looking, throwing. For the sideline has Devontae Smith. It is out of bounds, unfortunately incomplete. He was only able to get 1 foot down in bounds before he fell out of bounds, so that is going to stop the clock. 26 seconds left in the first half. Would have been a really, really good pickup there if the Eagles were able to get that, but it is going to bring up 2nd and 10. Yeah, he got his left foot down, but not his right even at all before he hit out of bounds. Hurts is in the gun. We got a back to his left. Hurts takes the snap. Back, looking, pressure coming. Hurts is going to throw. He's got Goddard, and Goddard's going to get out of bounds, picked up 2. 3rd and 8. Ball is on the Eagles' 34-yard line. We have 22 seconds left to play in this first half. Eagles need to get into probably about the 40 to get a comfortable Jake Elliott field goal. Jake Elliott's longest career field goal is 61 yards. He's done that twice in his career, once this season and then once in his rookie year. Hurts is in the gun, back to his right. Hurts takes a snap, throws, caught by Watkins. Watkins is going to get downed inbounds just shy of the 40. That is going to bring up fourth down, and that is probably going to do it for the first half here. Yeah, clock is winding. 3, 2, 1. We're at halftime. So, we are now at halftime, and the Philadelphia Eagles are behind 16-9 after they couldn't get anything going on their final possession of the first half. Good news is, again, they will have the second half to the first possession of the second half, so as long as something stupid doesn't happen in the start of the second half, then the Eagles will have an opportunity to regain control of this game. Nobody surprised by the outcome of that play call there. All right, let's take a look at this first half. Let's take a look at this atrocity of a first half here. It got better as the game went on, but the first quarter especially was bad. First quarter was bad by all counts. And this statistic right here tells you all that you need to know about this game. The Buccaneers have held the ball for 19 minutes and 6 seconds in the first half compared to the Eagles' 10 minutes and 54 seconds. Again, good news is that the Eagles are only down one score, but it definitely does not feel as close as the score makes it. And the other good news, the Eagles get the ball to start the second half. So, I mean, there's good things to take away from this right now, but it is just absolutely right now just concerning. What do we got here? 15 first downs for the Buccaneers compared to the Eagles' 8 first downs. The Eagles did get a little bit better on third downs. The Eagles defense, got a little bit better on third downs. They are 3 for 8 on the Buccaneers are 3 for 8 on third down conversions, which is, that's good to see. We'll see if we'll see where the Eagles proceed and if they're able to keep that momentum up at least. Eagles not great on third downs. They are 0 for 4. But every time the Eagles have been in the red zone once. They did score a touchdown on that. One appearance there. The Buccaneers have not been in the red zone more than once, despite the fact that they've gotten their own touchdown of their own. But that touchdown was from out of the red zone. This stat also is very telling. Buccaneers having well over 50 more offensive yards than the Eagles. Very telling stats right there as to how this game is going. The Eagles defense able to come up with key stops when they need to, but the big concern for me is that the Eagles are giving up a lot and a lot across the middle of the field. They're not playing. They don't seem to be playing very aggressively. Exceptions, of course, the 2 sacks that the Eagles have on Baker Mayfield. So that's good. That's 1 sack for Jalen Hurts. It should have been a run. He should have picked up maybe less than a yard. So here's where things are going right now. So Jalen Hurts, 14 for 20 for 165 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions in the passing game. Eagles have run the ball for a grand total of 17 yards on 5 carries. And when Eagles fans are screaming run the football, Eagles fans are screaming run the football for consistency. We want to make sure that we're having a consistent first down, consistent running the football. And the Eagles could have had opportunities to do that, and they didn't. They could have. The Eagles' offense got started off great running the football on their first possession. It started off great running the football. Their first couple of plays, it was DeAndre Swift for 9 yards, DeAndre Swift for another 2. Then they started going into passes. And this one right here, the incomplete deep right pass to Dallas Goedert, was on 3rd and 2. And if the Eagles had just handed the ball off to the running back, to DeAndre Swift, to Kenny Gainwell, whomever, even if Hurts had kept it himself, pick up 2 yards and you have the first down. And instead you shoot for a deep right, a deep pass down the sideline into traffic, and there was nothing. Because Goddard and Devontae Smith were both in the same general area and were both running very similar routes on that play. Devontae Smith, 4 catches, 111 yards. Definitely the leading receiver. Julio Jones, 3 catches for 22 yards. Julio Jones is out for being evaluated for a concussion right now, so we will see what when he comes back. Yeah, but it definitely dropped thoughts in the chat about this first half of this game. Baker Mayfield, 11 for 24, 174 yards. Again, big concern for me. This has been a concern of mine. I've been screaming about this since the bye. Rushing yards. Eagles defense has allowed 79 rushing yards to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the first half alone. The Eagles defense allowed 41 rushing yards against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the entire game during their first matchup. Something is up with the run defense. I don't know what it is. I don't understand why the Philadelphia Eagles have been playing very soft against the run. But the fact that the Buccaneers, who weren't able to run half of the field during the Eagles' first matchup against them in week 3, are now able to put up almost 80 yards on the ground. And most of those came from Rachaad White. Rachaad White had 38 yards on 14 carries in that first game. He's already surpassed that total on 10 carries in the first half of this game. So, the Eagles defense, which began the year as the best run defense in the NFL, continues to experience a downward spiral in that game. This game is not inspiring any degree of confidence among Eagles fans. It's basically the summary. In order for that to have happened, the Eagles needed to have a monster of an appearance in this game, and they do not seem to be doing that at this particular moment in time. Hey. We got 30 minutes of football left. Anybody have any predictions? Drop them in the chat. Would love to hear from you. So the big question coming out of halftime is going to be, can the Eagles get some life? Eagles are very fortunate to be down just a touchdown. Very, very, very fortunate to be down just a touchdown. We will see whether or not they're able to do that. Whether or not they're able to come back with some life here. Alrighty. You're coming back from the halftime break. Appreciate y'all for hanging out. This is the final game of Super Wild Card Weekend. Some really good games over the course of the weekend, especially on Sunday. With the, Eagles fans obviously very happy that the Packers stomped the Cowboys back out of the playoffs. And then a really exciting game in the Lions-Rams matchup. So some good stuff there. Again, appreciate y'all hanging out. The Buccaneers are set to kick this away, and they do, and the third quarter of this game is underway. It goes out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So the Eagles get the ball. So we got 1st and 10. Ball is on the Eagles' 25-yard line. Jalen Hurts going to bring the offense out. We're going to see what happens here. All the players wearing MLK stickers on the back of their helmets, obviously for Martin Luther King Day, which is today. Hurts is in the gun, back behind him. Hurts takes the snap, Hands it off to DeAndre Swift. Swift going to bounce out to the near side and is going to lose about 2. They will credit him only for a loss of 1, so that does bring up second and 11. Balls on the 24-yard line. Yeah, and the Eagles, I will say, to their credit, they do have a couple of did have a couple of opportunities for interceptions. So we'll see what happens there, Dan. Hurts is in the gun, empty backfield. Devontae Smith lines up wide out to the near side. Meanwhile, Swift lines up wide out to the far side. Hurts takes the snap. Free man coming in, back, looking for DeAndre Swift, and incomplete. Actually, you know what? He was looking for Quez Watkins, who is looking now for a flag and is not going to get one. It does bring up 3rd and 11. So a 3rd down and 2-stick situation here. Eagles. Yeah, unfortunately, there was nobody in the open middle of the field. Yeah, they're looking for Dean to get called for PI. Dean was really making a play on Watkins there, and all right, Hurts in the gun, empty backfield. Hurts takes the snap, pressure coming. Hurts is going to get sacked. Hurts gets sacked, and that is that for that opportunity. Eagles had a shot to do something, and the offense sputters. And they're going to send the punting unit out. Yeah, Dan, I will say Hurts has definitely thrown a wild amount of interceptions this season. Braden Mann punts this away, and this is not a great punt positioning-wise. It's a 44-yarder. It's going to get down at the 41-yard line of the Buccaneers. So that's a rough punt there for the Eagles. Not this third quarter, not starting off the way that you want it to. If you need to come back, and you need to come back quickly, Buccaneers have great field position. And it's going to be 1st and 10 for them. And Baker Mayfield's going to take the team out onto the field. We got a back to his right. Auten goes in motion. Mayfield back, looking, throws, caught by Auten, and Auten is going to pick up the 1st down and get into Eagles territory. 1st and 10, balls on the 48-yard line of the Eagles. I know, Dan, what is going on? We got 13 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Ball is on the Eagles' 48-yard line. The Buccaneers do have 6 drops tonight so far. Mayfield is in the gun, back behind him. Mayfield takes the snap, fakes the handoff, throws. It is caught by Auten, and Auten is going to get down to the 45. That is a pickup of 4. So, that's a pickup of 3. It brings up 2nd and 7. Ball's on the 45-yard line of the Eagles. We got 12.5 left in the 3rd quarter. 12:29, 12:28, 12:27, 12:26, 12:25. So we got Mayfield now in the gun. We got a back to his right. We got Auten wide out to the near side. Mayfield takes the snap. Back, looking, and is going to roll out to his right. He's going to avoid pressure. Milton Williams almost sacks him, but he is able to get the ball off, but it is incomplete. He was looking for Rashad White, and that is going to bring up 3rd and 7 for the Buccaneers. Once again, it'd be great to see the Eagles do a 3rd down stop here. It's a 3rd and long situation for the Buccaneers. And now Mayfield's going to line up with an empty backfield. And now White is going to come into his left. Mayfield takes the snap, back, looking, pressure coming. Mayfield sacked once again. down at the Buccaneers 45-yard line. That is going to bring up 4th and 17. Eagles defense turning it on now. They need to stop celebrating, though, because the Eagles are still down by a touchdown. 4th and 17, though, ball is now back on the 45-yard line. So ultimately, that is going to net a pickup of about 4 yards. And now we've got Camarda on to punt this away, and he does, and this is going to get drilled. It is going to get fielded at the 13-yard line, and that is going to that is going to be where the Eagles will go back to work. That sack is going to be split by both Fletcher Cox and Nolan Smith, so they each get a half a sack on that one. But that, again, big sack there, and that was almost 2 sacks in a row because Mayfield was almost sacked on the pass to Rachaad White. So. Now it's time for the offense to turn it on, and we will see what they decide to do. 11:23 left in this third quarter. So the big question I have right now is, does the Eagles defense have life again? Because it definitely sounds like it. So the Eagles now have the ball. We are back from the commercial break. It is 1st and 10 from the 13-yard line of the Philadelphia Eagles. Hurts is in the gun. We got it back to his right. Hurts takes the snap. Fakes the handoff to Swift. Back, looking. He's going to take it himself. He's going to get up to the 15, to the 20, to the 25 is where he's going to get brought down, and down around the 26, and we got a flag because there was helmet-to-helmet contact, and that's going to tack on 15 yards. There was helmet-to-helmet contact. Absolutely, there is no question about that. Why are we talking about this, officials? They're talking about it because they got Cam Jurgens for holding, so as well, so that negates the entire play, and then we redo first down. So that's what happened. Okay. Oy vey. All right, so we got Hurts in the gun, back to his right. Smith goes in motion. Hurts takes a snap, does a quick bubble screen to Devontae Smith. who's not going to get anywhere, and they're going to lose yards on that. That was an absolutely dumb play call. In other news, the sky is still blue. 10.5 left in this game, or in this third quarter here. That was Jamal Dean on the stop. I don't know what they were. I don't know what he was trying to do, but Devontae Smith definitely did not seem prepared for that pass. So we got Hurts in the gun back to his right. 2nd and 14. Ball's on the 9-yard line. Hurts takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Swift. He's going to keep it himself. Hurts is going to get up to about the 14-yard line. So he does pick up 5 of those yards back. It is 3rd and 9. Third and 9 and incoming bubble screen. Eagles have not converted on a 3rd down yet. 9:25 left to go in the third quarter. Hurts in the gun, empty backfield. Hurts takes the snap, back, looking, throws, incomplete. It was tipped. He was looking for Dallas Goedert, who's looking for a flag and does not get one. Now there is one that comes in. We're going to check this. And that is going to go against the Buccaneers. It is pass interference. That is going to give the Eagles a first down. So, Eagles get bailed out of that one. They got Joe Tryon-Shoyinka on that. So, that is going to bring up 1st and 10 for the Eagles from their own 18-yard line. Doesn't matter, I guess. Hurts takes the snap, hands it off to Swift. I don't know, they talked about it. It did look like it was tipped, but I could be wrong about that. No, yeah, they're... Yeah, it's pretty clear. And also it was not tipped. So it was not tipped based off of the replay. It looked like it was for a second during the live call. Hurts is in the gun, empty backfield. Hurts takes the snap, hands it off to DeAndre Swift. Swift is going to pick up about 2. So that's going to bring up 3rd and 6. We got 8:30 left in this third quarter. Yeah, it was not tipped, Dan. So, 1 for 4 on one for 5 on 3rd downs in this game for the Eagles. Hurts is in the gun, empty backfield sends Gainwell in motion. Free man coming in as Hurts takes the snap. Hurts does a quick screen to Gainwell. Gainwell's going to pick up about 1, maybe. And that's going to bring up 4th and 5. The bubble screen does not work. No worries, I appreciate you, Dan. It looked like it was tipped from the live call, so. Braden Mann on to punt this away, and he does. Devin Tompkins back to return it. Fields it at about the 27-yard line. He's going to get up to about the 30 to the 35 to the 37 is where they mark him down. So we got 7:13 left to play in the third quarter, and the Buccaneers have the ball back. And it's still 16-9. Alrighty. Yeah, they did convert a third down. They are not. They are not worse than the Buccaneers, and they're not shut out of third downs by the Buccaneers on that stat. Yep, I agree. Would have been great if it wasn't by a penalty. That penalty rescued that drive for the Eagles there for a hot minute. There have been 5 penalties so far this game. So it's been a relatively quiet game for the officials. Now we'll see whether or not the Eagles' defense is once again up to the challenge. Appreciate y'all hanging out. Please feel free to like and subscribe. Mayfield is in the gun. We got a back behind him. Mayfield takes a snap, fakes the handoff, throws, caught by Otten, and Otten's going to get up to about the 42. So 2nd and 3, they all actually credit them up to the 43-yard line, and it's going to give the Bucs again another 2nd and short situation here. Mayfield is now 14 for 28 for 195 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks. It would be great to have one come here. Mayfield's going to line up in the gun. We got a back behind him. Mayfield takes the snap, hands it off to White. White is going to power forward for the first down, gets into Eagles territory down to the 44-yard line. And that is going to bring up 1st and 10 for the Buccaneers. We are at 6:17 left to play in this third quarter. They will actually credit him to the 45, so it's going to bring up 1st and 10 from there. Inside of 6 minutes left in the third quarter. Mayfield in the gun, back behind him. Mayfield takes the snap, fakes the handoff to White. There's obvious holding that's missed, and it's going to get thrown and caught by Godwin. Obvious holding was missed. It was obvious offensive holding there. Second and 2, Mayfield in the gun, back behind him. Mayfield takes the snap, hands it off to White. White is going to get a yard. So it's going to bring up 3rd and 1. Ball is on the Eagles' 36-yard line. 5 minutes left in the third quarter. Mayfield gathering everybody up. Lines them all up. We're going to be at 4.5 in a moment here. Mayfield takes the snap from under center. Mayfield back, gets sacked again. Sacked by Milton Williams, and that is a loss of quite a bit there. Loss of 12 for the Buccaneers. Brings up 4th and 13. So they lose all of that credit, and they go back, and they actually, it's now 4th and 2 sticks. Ball's on the Eagles' 48-yard line. We're going to see the punt unit coming on again, most likely here. And that is now the 4th sack on Baker Mayfield this game. Milton Williams coming up big on that drive there. Jake Camarda on to punt it away, and that's just going to pin the Eagles deep once again. Britton Covey fair catches it at the 10, and that is going to be where the Eagles pick up. Yep, defense decided to return. Problem is, when the defense is doing great, the offense is not. Eagles have yet to play a complete game. All right, let's see now at this point whether or not the Eagles' offense is able to do anything, if the Eagles are able to march down the field. Need some kind of life here. Would love to see a long, sustained drive that ends in points. Ideally, something like ideally a touchdown. Love to see the Eagles pull this game even. It is still winnable. 3:41 left in the third quarter. It is still a winnable game. We're just at this point hoping that the Eagles offense can put something together, because the defense right now is doing its job. Right now. Mayfield is 15 for 29, 203 yards. That Buccaneers drive was 5 plays for 19 yards. It took 3 minutes and 32 seconds. Hurts is going to line up in the gun. We got it back to his left. That looks to be Gainwell. Hurts takes the snap. Hands it off to Gainwell. Gainwell going to bounce out to the near side. He's going to try to avoid tackles. He's running backwards. He loses 4. He loses about 6 there. It's going to bring up 2nd and 16. Gets tackled at the 4-yard line. Clock is running. We got 3:23, 3:22, 3:21, 3:20, 3:19 left in the third quarter. Eagles running backs also have to trust their linemen too. So Hurts is lining up in the shadow of his own end zone with the back to his left. That is Swift. Hurts takes the snap. Pressure coming. Back, looking, throwing. Caught to Dallas Goedert. Does he get it inbounds? Yes, he does. That is a 10-yard pickup. Brings 3rd down. Yes, that was a run attempt initially there. And it sputtered out. But then Dallas Goedert was able to get that pickup, and it was a 10-yard pickup. Brings up 3rd and 6 for the Eagles. Eagles looking to convert their 2nd, 3rd down. Hurts in the gun. Hurts takes the snap. Back. Looking. Pressure is coming. Hurts got to get out of the end zone. Got to get out of the damn end zone, and that is going to be... What are they calling here? They're going to call grounding. They're going to call grounding, and that's going to cost the Eagles 2 points. I think he was down anyway. I don't think the grounding call was necessary. I don't know who was. I don't know who was he throwing to. I mean, I also think the tackle box wasn't there, but yep. I think he was down anyway. I don't think that was strictly speaking. But you know what? Here's the other thing too. The Eagles needed some kind of a reset in terms of possession because the Eagles were consistently getting pinned in the back of their own, deep in their own territory. This is going to get punted away, and it's going to get fielded back inside the 10, and it's going to get bounced up to about the 35, down to the 40-yard line. I know. And it's nothing, I mean, Sirianni does that all the time. That's something that's not new for him, so. So Mayfield is in the gun. We got a back behind to his left. Mayfield takes the snap, hands it off to White. It was a high snap, but he was able to handle it. And White is going to bounce out to the near side and gets to about the 44. Yeah, I know. I agree. Mayfield takes a snap, back, throwing, caught, and that's going to be brought well in, and this is going to be a free runner into the end zone, and that is going to be a touchdown, and that is going to probably put this game out of reach of the Eagles' offense, and probably out of reach of the Eagles' team. That is Trey Palmer. It is a 56-yard touchdown. And that is going to probably, that is the way that this game is going. With the way this game is going, this is probably now out of reach. It's 24-9. We've got 1:19 left to play in the third quarter of this game. And now McLaughlin is on to kick the extra point here. Glad you can't disagree with the analysis, at least. Snap, hold, kick is good. 1:19 left to play in the third quarter. Eagles offense needs to come up with something to shoot itself in the arm, because otherwise this game is out of reach and they can go book their tee times. It is 25-9 in favor of the Buccaneers. Big thing, and I will say Jeff McLean pointed, this team seems to have lost its vision. The team seems to have lost its mission. The team seems to have lost its purpose. The team seems to have lost everything. And it hasn't had that since we lost against the 49ers. You are spot on there, Dan. I absolutely agree with you. This team has not had any sense of purpose since it lost against the 49ers. I know. Hard to believe they were a favored team to win the Super Bowl this year. They were one of the top two teams in the NFC coming into this season. They were this doesn't look like the team that started 10-1, and that is the thing that bothers me. That is the thing that bothers me most about this team, is that in spite of all of the struggle, in spite of all of the challenge, the Eagles had an opportunity to start 10. The Eagles started 10-1, and they had an opportunity to put their foot down in the NFC. They had an opportunity to become the first team since the 2004 Eagles team to repeat NFC East champions, and they didn't do it. And they didn't do it because they lost their sense of purpose. Yep, you're more experienced about it than I am, Dan. Eagles going to punt this one away. Buccaneers going to kick this one away, and that's going to get fielded and brought back to about the 27. Got fielded at the 10-yard line. It's a 17-yard return. So, I don't know. Maybe that'll do something for the Eagles. Who knows? So we got Hurts in the gun. We got Swift to his left. Hurts takes the snap, hands it off to Swift. Swift going to run. Going to get up to the 35 to the 40. Gets to the 44-yard line. We got 1:06 left in the third quarter here. We got Hurts in the gun. Takes a snap, hands it off to Swift. Swift going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Whole lot of nothing there. Eagles do need to run one more play for the third quarter. Hurts in the gun, back to his right. Hurts takes the snap, back, looking, throwing. Caught wide open down the middle as Devontae Smith gets into Buccaneers territory down to around the 37-yard line. And that will bring us to the end of the third quarter. We got 15 minutes of play left here. And we'll see whether or not the Eagles put us out of our misery or if they keep us alive for another week. But it is very much right now out of reach for this Eagles offense. Buccaneers are on top 25-9. Appreciate y'all hanging out. Please feel free to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. It's looking like the off season's going to come sooner, so we're going to see if I can. I'm trying to get some content lined up for you. For the off season, so we can keep this going. Probably might bring you some more playoff games as well. Hey, Ryan. No worry. I appreciate you stopping by. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I am Glad that you stopped by. You guys, I hope you guys enjoyed your week off, and it looks like you guys are going to have your hands full with a Packers team that was able to stomp the Cowboys out of the playoffs, so that's going to be interesting. But yeah, I appreciate you stopping by. Trying to do what I can here, so thanks so much. Alrighty. Here we go. We got so we're in the commercial break right now. We're about 15 minutes left We got 15 minutes left in this game. Start of the fourth quarter incoming. See what the Eagles offense is able to do, because they are now down. When they get back, it's going to be 1st and 10 from the Buccaneers 37-yard line. So every time that the Eagles have gotten into Tampa Bay territory, they have scored. So we'll see if they are able to do it again. So we are coming back from the commercial break. We've got Jalen Hurts lining up in the gun with a back to his right. It is the start of the fourth quarter. Hurts takes the snap, and it's a high snap. He almost misses it. And Hurts is going to roll back to his left, and he's going to throw deep. And he was looking for Quez Watkins, who is in the end zone, but is well short of Watkins. And that's going to bring up 2nd and 10. Stops the clock at 14:52. Again, please feel free to like and subscribe. Really helps the channel out. So we have Hurts in the gun. We've got a back now to his left here. Hurts takes the snap. Fakes the handoff to Swift. He's back. Pressure coming. He throws. Is that caught? That was a one-handed grab. That was a one-handed grab by Devontae Smith. Gets him down to the 22-yard line and gives the Eagles a first down. That was a one-handed grab. That was impressive. So Hurts in the gun, back to his left. Hurts takes a snap, hands it off to Swift. Swift is going to lose 2. Gets up to the 24. It's going to bring up 2nd and 12. 14:10 left in this game. Elijah Cansey was there on the stop. Hurts in the gun, back to his right. Hurts calls for the football, fakes the handoff to Swift, throws, caught by Goddard, and is going to get inside the 20 into the red zone. There is a flag on this play. We're going to check in on that flag. Again, Adrian Hill is the referee. And that's going to be ineligible receiver downfield. So that is going to cost the Eagles 5 yards and negates the reception, brings up 2nd and 17 for the Eagles. Would have been a 6-yard pickup by Goddard. Would have gotten them into the red zone. Instead, 2nd and 17. Ball is on the 29-yard line. And now there's a flag coming in. And they got a false start. They got Jordan Mailata on that, so that is going to march the Eagles back even farther. It's going to bring up 2nd and 22. And the way the Eagles have been calling plays this season, the way, especially in the back half of this season, I wouldn't be surprised if I saw a bubble screen. 2nd and 22. Hurts in the gun, back to his right. And now we've got other nonsense going on here. They were addressing a clock issue. That's what that stoppage was. Okay. 13:29 left in the game. Hurts in the gun, back to his right. Hurts. Calls for the football. Back. Pressure coming. Throws. Caught by Devontae Smith. Picks up a yard on that. Brings up 3rd and 21. Ball is on the Tampa Bay 33-yard line. Stupid little bubble screen that never works. So we got Hurts now in the gun. We got a back to his right. Hurts. Waiting. Now calls for the football. Hurts. Back. Looking. He's going to roll. He's going to throw. It's going to be caught by DeAndre Swift. Gets down to about the 22. And I would not be surprised if the field goal unit comes on here, because it didn't even get remotely close. It is 4th and 10. We'll see what the Eagles decide to do here. Wouldn't be surprised if, yep, Jalen Hurts' helmet is off. We got Jake Elliott coming on to attempt a field goal. This is going to be a 40-yard attempt. Snap, hold, kick is up, and it is good. Just inside the upright, there is a flag down. We're going to check on this flag before I update the score. It's going to be offsides, it looks like, so they're going to send the offense back out onto the field. Yeah, they got Zion McCollum, brother of Tristan McCollum, Eagles safety, who was activated for this game. They got him for jumping offside, so that's going to bring up 4th and 5. And that is going to send the Eagles offense out onto the field. So the Eagles are going to go for it. .12:02 left in this game. Big decision to go for it here. Hurts is in the gun. Got Kenny Gainwell coming in to his left. Lamade Zaccheaus wide out to the near side. Hurts takes the snap. Back, looking. Pressure coming. Hurts is going to throw, and it is off of Devontae Smith's hands and incomplete, and that is going to cause a turnover on downs, and that is probably going to be the ceiling play of this game. 11:57 left to play in the game, but probably not going to see a whole lot unless the defense, which has had the life in it, I don't dispute that. But I also think, I don't know. I see what they're trying to do, right? Like, you're trying to be aggressive. You're trying to go for it on the fourth down. You're trying to get back into the game, and converting on fourth down would be great there. And 4th and 5, you only needed 5 yards. Could have easily gotten that on a short pass. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the Eagles are due a Baker pick. I mean, and it'd be great if it was like it was a pick six. It'd be great. Um, okay, so ball is on the Buccaneers 17-yard line. It's the worst position yet. Um, but that's going to be negated pretty quickly. Mayfield's going to take the snap, throws, caught, gets down to the 35-yard line. That is Durham. That is Payne Durham, the tight end. Um, yeah, Buccaneers offense, they just showed the replay. Buccaneers defense did a great job of clearing out the middle of the field, keeping anybody from doing a cross route. Mayfield in the gun. Mayfield takes a snap, back, looking, throwing, and that is going to be caught. But he steps out of bounds before he's able to advance the football any farther. So that is going to bring up 2nd and 5. Ball's caught at the 40-yard line by Chris Godwin. And this Eagles offense looking absolutely dejected, as rightly they should. There should be no celebrating at all. They have nothing to celebrate. There is no reason why. I mean, book your tee times now. Mayfield in the gun. Takes the snap. It's a high snap, but hands it off. And that is going to pick up about 2. Going to bring up 3rd and 3. That would be... who is that? That's Chase Edmonds there. 10:20 left in this game. 3rd and 3. Or 3rd and 4, actually. They credit him only to the 41. Jeffrey Lurie contemplating his own next moves. Absolutely frustrated, and you can see it on his face. Mayfield in the gun. Mayfield takes the snap. Back, looking, throwing, caught, first down. That is Auten, I believe. Yep, that is Cade Auten, and that is going to bring up 1st and 10 from the Buccaneers 46-yard line. That does keep the clock moving. About 9.5 left to play in this game. Both teams do still have all 3 timeouts, but it's not going to matter in a minute and a half. Mayfield lines up under center. Back in the backfield. Mayfield takes the snap, hands it off to Edmonds. Edmonds going to get dropped in the backfield. Flag does come in. So we will check on this flag. It is offensive holding. They get who do they get? They get the tight end Keith. So that is going to bring up a 1st and 20 for the Buccaneers following the holding penalty. Nine minutes left in this game. Buccaneers most likely going to be the team that faces off against the Lions. Mayfield in the gun. Mayfield back. Looking, firing, caught. Steps out of bounds before the first down marker, but it doesn't matter because it's a 19-yard pickup, and that was Evans. That was Mike Evans, and that is going to bring up a 2nd and 1 for the Buccaneers. That is Mike Evans' second catch of the game. It's certainly his longest. I'm sorry, not his longest. Mayfield takes a snap, hands it off to Rachaad White. White going to power forward into the Eagles' territory, gets down inside the 40 to about the 37. That's going to bring up 1st and 10 for the Buccaneers. Yep, so this Eagles team riding the struggle bus. Mayfield takes a snap, hands it off to Rachaad White. White is going to get dropped at the line of scrimmage. Maybe picks up a yard. They will credit him for a yard, so it's going to bring up 2nd and 9 for the Buccaneers. Gets up to the 36-yard line. So, Eagles have a lot of questions as they get ready to head into the offseason because Lord knows they're not finishing this game out with a victory. The biggest questions come at the areas of, there's going to be a lot of coaching questions. Eagles have 34 rushing yards on this game compared to the Buccaneers' 108. Remember, in the first matchup, the Buccaneers had 41 rushing yards total. Mayfield takes a snap, throws, caught Mike Evans, and that is going to get up to about the 27-yard line. That is going to bring up, they're actually only crediting him to the 28, and it's going to be 3rd and 1, so he was a little bit short there, actually, it looks like. So, 7:14 left to play in this game. The Eagles have actually taken 2 timeouts already. This is their second. I apologize, I have not kept up on that. Eagles took a timeout at 7:23, and they took another at 7:16. So we're at 7:16 left. So here's the thing, and I mentioned this on the preview episode, Dan, of the Bird's Nest podcast, and I talked about this actually with Greg Bishop from Sports Illustrated, who had a chance to ask Jeffrey Lurie some questions about this. So, I don't think Sirianni gets fired. I will talk about that in a second here. I'll finish that thought in a minute. Mayfield under center, takes a snap, hands it off to Rachaad White, 1st down. Picks up about 2 or 3. Howie Roseman not happy either. He's starting to pack his stuff up. Here's the thing. I don't think Sirianni gets fired. And the reason why I think that is I think that Sirianni, I mean, the fact that Sirianni was able to lead the Eagles to playoff appearances in each of their first 3 seasons is saying something. Conversely, Jeffrey Lurie seems to be ahead of the curve when it comes to identifying whether or not a team needs a head coaching change. And the head coach decision in the Philadelphia Eagles, unlike in other places, right? So, like in most teams, the head coach is hired by the GM. For the Philadelphia Eagles, Jeffrey Lurie, who's the chairman and CEO, he's the owner of the Eagles. He's been the owner of the Eagles since 1994. He makes the decision regarding head coaches. So that's kind of a different thing when it comes to the Eagles here. We've got Baker Mayfield lining up under center, back in the backfield. Mayfield takes the snap, hands it off to White. White is going to pick up about 5 there. Gets down to around the 16-yard line. I'm sorry, down to the 22. I apologize. And 2nd and 6. So Lurie seems to be ahead of the curve. After the 1 year when Chip Kelly had his disastrous season where the Eagles just kind of absolutely tanked, missed the playoffs, didn't even have a winning record. Chip Kelly didn't even make the end of the season. Mayfield lines up under center. Mayfield takes a snap, back, hands it off to Rachaad White. White going to bounce out to the outside and is going to lose a couple yards. I think one big telltale is some of the conversations that's happening right now where if you're a head coach and you lose the locker room, we got an injury timeout right now. Darius Slay is down on the field. And hopefully he's okay. We're stopped at 6:11 left in the game here. 3rd and 7 coming up. So if Nick Sirianni were to get fired, it would be probably because that would be evidence that he lost the locker room, because each of the last several head coaches that have been fired, Andy Reid. So if you go back through history, you have the Eagles head coaches. Ray Rhodes was there when Jeffrey Lurie bought the team from Norman Brayman. Ray Rhodes was horrific, but Lurie fired him, brought in Rich Kotite. Rich Kotite was not great either. And that was just a bad team. That's when the Eagles brought in Andy Reid. Andy Reid, we know how he did in Philadelphia. He was exceptional. He led the Eagles to Super Bowl 39, to 4 consecutive NFC East titles, to additional playoff appearances later in his tenure with the Eagles. But things kind of got stale towards the end, and the two of them, we learned they decided that a change was needed, and it was actually one of the things that Andy Reid was in full agreement with. Like, he knew that he needed a change himself, and that's when he went to Kansas City. Then the Eagles brought in Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly was good in his first season, but the NFL being a copycat league, and Chip Kelly only had one trick, which was get to the line of scrimmage quickly, and what that did was it wore the defense out. So Chip Kelly was let go when he took over also the personnel. The season that he took over personnel from Howie Roseman, Chip Kelly led the team to an absolute disaster of a season. Team didn't make the playoffs, and Kelly was let go before he was before the season was let out. And I think one of the big reasons for that was because Kelly was not a big locker room culture guy, among other reasons. And so you bring in Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson, of course, leads the Eagles to Super Bowl 52 with Carson Wentz. And then you have the Carson Wentz saga that occurs after the Eagles draft Jalen Hurts. And Jalen Hurts Jalen Hurts drafted, sits behind Carson Wentz for a little bit. Carson Wentz gets benched. There's a whole thing. Carson Wentz wants Peterson gone. Lurie acquiesces. But he does that, again, because you can't have these kinds of culture things going on in the locker room. And ultimately, Carson Wentz leaves too. So Nick Sirianni came in. Nick Sirianni was a big culture guy. I think that was very, very clear. This is not good. They're bringing the card out for Darius Slay. So they're bringing the card out. Eagles players giving him the high five right now. Yeah, so I don't think. So if you're going by record alone, I think you keep Sirianni. I think Sirianni, being the only Eagles head coach to make the playoffs in each of his first 3 seasons, I think that is significant. And I think that's a huge help. I think the coordinators have to go. I think we need to clear out. I think Brian Johnson needs to go back to, at the very least, being quarterback's coach. I don't think he's fit to be offensive coordinator anymore. He's been the one that's been doing the play calling, so it kind of makes sense for him to at least accept a demotion. I think it would be good to keep him around if they're able to, because of how Brian Johnson and Jalen Hurts have worked together. But I think we need a better offensive mastermind than Brian Johnson, especially an in-game mastermind. We are back. Mayfield is in the gun. We got a back to his right. Darius Slay on the card again. Hopefully he's okay. Mayfield back, looking, pressure coming, throws, caught, touchdown, and most likely this game is over. 23-yard reception to Chris Godwin, and that is going to put this game very much out of reach with 5:42 left in this game. The score goes up now to 31-9. And now they're going to send McLaughlin on to kick the extra point. Jalen Hurts still has his helmet on. I don't know why. This game is well out of reach for him. Snap, hold, kick is good. With 5:42 left in this game, mercy please, it is 32-9 in favor of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yeah, Nicholas Morrow came in as a free guy. It was a rare blitz. But that does put Avonte Maddox up against Godwin. And it's a third touchdown of the game for the Buccaneers. And I don't know, Eagles fans don't have... I hear you, Dan, but also here's the other thing too. Jalen Hurts went to the Nick Saban School of Public Relations, so I think as a part of that, you have to have your tear ducts surgically extracted from you. Kick is away. It's going to go out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Eagles have the ball. 5:42 left in the game. Eagles are actually out of timeouts. I don't know when they took their last one. I apologize. I should have caught that. Yeah, Eagles took their last timeout at 7:12 left in the game. So Eagles don't have a chance to stop the clock beyond the 2-minute warning, which is merciful. Hurts is in the gun. We got a back to his right. Olamide Zaccheaus goes wide out to the near side. Hurts takes the snap. Back. Looking. Throwing. Caught by DeAndre Swift. Gets down to the first down marker. Gets to about the 36-yard line. So that's going to bring up 1st and 10 for the Eagles. 5.5 left in the game. So we got Hurts now in the gun. DeAndre Swift to his left. Hurts takes a snap. Back, looking, pressure coming. Hurts is going to get sacked. And that is going to put us down inside of 5 minutes left in the game here. It's going to bring up 2nd and 17. Ball is on the 29-yard line of the Eagles. Yeah, so this was the thing that I was going to get to if I had more time during the injury timeout. I talked with Greg Bishop of Sports Illustrated, who had a chance to ask Jeffrey Lurie the question of how do you Hurts is in the gun, back to his right, back looking, throws, caught. DeAndre Swift is going to get back up to about the 38-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd and 8. So Greg Bishop said at the beginning of the season, he actually had a chance to talk to Jeffrey Lurie at Super Bowl 57. And one of the questions was, how do you decide when it's time to move on from a head coach? And Lurie wouldn't answer that question. But I think one of the big things is you lose that locker room, because that's been the big consistency among the recent head coaching changes for the Eagles. Hurts is in the gun. We got a back to his left. Hurts takes the snap back. Looking. Throws. Caught. Dallas Goedert. There is a flag down. But that is going to be a first down if this stands. And now Goddard is down on the field. We got 3:56 left in the game. And it's going to be offensive pass interference on Dallas Goedert. So that's going to cost the Eagles 10 yards. It's going to bring up 3rd and 18 from the 28. So I don't think they're going to go chasing a head coach. Let's put it that way. I think the coordinators are gone. I think Brian Johnson, at the very least, I think he's going to get a demotion to QB's coach if he doesn't get encouraged to take the job with the Carolina Panthers. Strongly encouraged would be the word there. I think Sean Desai is gone. I think that was very evident when Desai was stripped of his play calling responsibilities for the defense. Matt Patricia, possible that he could stick around. I think I have heard that speculation too. We've got Hurts in the gun. We got a back to his right. We got 3:56 left in the game. Jack Stoll came in to replace Dallas Goedert. Hurts going to take the snap back, looking, throws, and that is going to be caught and down immediately is Olamide Zaccheaus. Brings up 4th down and a lot, and that is going to send the punting unit onto the field. That was a 5-yard pickup, brings up 4th and 13, so it's 2 sticks, 4th down. Yeah, I have heard that speculation regarding Belichick. I think with the culture needs of the Eagles, I don't think Belichick is the guy that fits. If you're looking for a head coaching mastermind, I think Belichick is it. There's nobody better. He's a Hall of Fame head coach. Hurts in the gun. They do leave the offense out. Back looking, throws, and that is going to be caught short of the first down marker is Devontae Smith, and that is going to give the ball back to the Buccaneers on a turnover on downs. It is 1st and 10 for them. From the Eagles, I don't know where they caught that, the Eagles' 40-yard line. So, Eagles out of timeouts. Buccaneers only need to get this to the 2-minute warning and then 1 first down immediately following that, and that'll be the game. Yeah, I heard the Mike Vrabel comment through the week here, and I think Mike Vrabel might, if the Eagles move on from a head coach, I think Mike Vrabel would be a better fit culturally for the Eagles than Bill Belichick. But I mean, it's hard not to be tantalized by that. Mayfield under center. Mayfield takes the snap, hands it off to Edmonds. Edmonds going to pick up 4 yards. Going to bring up 2nd and 7 for the Buccaneers. Ball is on the 37-yard line, actually. So they only pick up 3. Yeah, we've got a few people in the chat here. Definitely in the joining us here. Definitely feel free to chime in. Do you think the Eagles are going to be moving on from their head coach? Vrabel going to Washington? One can dream. Do you think the Eagles need to move on from their head coach? Mayfield under center. Mayfield takes the snap, hands it off to Edmonds. Edmonds going to get inside of the 35-yard line down to about the 33, 32-yard line, brings up 3rd and 2. All right, we are at the 2-minute warning. One more first down for the Buccaneers, and this game will be over. Thank you so much for joining us here today for this wild card matchup, the Eagles Buccaneers wild card matchup. Not how the Eagles were hoping for this season to go. Not how the Eagles were hoping for this season to end. But it looks like this season is going to be coming to a screeching halt in Tampa Bay, as it did a couple of seasons ago. I don't know. There are a couple of head coaches out there that are intriguing. There are a couple of head coaching candidates out there that are intriguing. I'd be curious to see what happens. The Eagles, if the Eagles do decide to move on from their head coach, yeah, there could be somebody with they could go for somebody with head coaching experience. But I mean, the best head coaching hire that we've had was Andy Reid. And I say that knowing that Doug Peterson got us to the Super Bowl, and I am hugely enthusiastic about that. And Doug Peterson will never have to buy a beer in Philadelphia ever again. I think the best head coaching hire that the Eagles have had was Andy Reid, and before Andy Reid was the head coach of the Eagles, he was the quarterbacks coach for the Green Bay Packers, working with Brett Favre. Now, you have a Hall of Fame quarterback, something like that. It's definitely a rarity, but there could be somebody like that lurking around. So, we don't know. You could Harbaugh. I know. Harbaugh's an option. Again, that's all assuming that Nick Sirianni gets fired, which is not a given right now. Because again, if you look at him from a performance standpoint and from like a season-long standpoint, and one of the things that Jeffrey Lurie says is that he doesn't want to be reactionary. We've got Mayfield lining up under center. We've got a back in the backfield. Mayfield takes a snap, hands it off to Edmonds. Edmonds is going to get dropped in the backfield. It's going to bring up 4th down. So the Eagles defense still playing, even though it is garbage time. Going to bring up 4th and 6 for the Buccaneers. All right. So it looks like some Eagles players are going to be punching their tickets to the Pro Bowl tonight. Mayfield lines up under center. We got Edmonds in the backfield. Mayfield takes a snap, hands it off to Edmonds. Edmonds going to get stopped short of the first down marker. And that is going to give the Eagles the ball back with 1:09 left. This game is over. It is over by everything but the clock. So, Eagles are the best wild card team in the NFC, certainly, and they will end their run here. 69 seconds left before this Eagles team gets put out of its misery. Taken out back at the hands of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Hurts is going to line up in the gun. We got a back to his left. Hurts takes the snap, hands it off to Gainwell. Gainwell going to pick up about 5. Ball was on the 38-yard line of the Eagles. I know. You got Britton Covey in right now, so... But the Eagles can't stop the clock, so... the Buccaneers going to take on the Detroit Lions this upcoming Sunday. .37 seconds left. 35, 34, 33, 32, 31, 30. Hurts takes the snap, hands it off to Gainwell. Gainwell going to get up to the 41-yard line. That'll do it, folks. That'll do it. No need to get anybody hurt. Philadelphia Eagles going to go out and congratulate the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on their victory. Got 10 seconds left. Jason Kelce emotional on the sidelines, hugging Jeff Stoutland. Who knows whether or not Kelce will be back. Hurts and Mayfield out to shake each other's hands, and that is going to be the final score. Philadelphia Eagles season, the 2023 season for the Philadelphia Eagles is over, dropping a heartbreaker to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers by a final score of 32-9 in a game that was emblematic of how the back half of the season has gone, and emblematic really in some way of how the entire season has gone. The Eagles will be heading home, packing up their stuff, and faced with a lot of questions. As Hurts runs off into the locker room, where do the Eagles go from here? What changes do the Eagles need to make? Do they have a coaching staff that they need to... What changes a coaching staff? Coordinators, do they keep them on? Do they bounce them? They'll probably be bounced, in my opinion. Do they keep the head coach? What's going to happen with some of the older players who are going to need to step aside? Brandon Graham hugging one of the Buccaneers coaches. Brandon Graham, the longest tenured Eagle on the team, celebrates 14 seasons. Goes all the way back to the Andy Reid era. Jason Kelce talking with folks. Again, all these seasoned veterans, all these guys who have made up the team for so many years. Fletcher Cox walking off the field. And the Eagles just have questions ahead of them. As they go back in and they lick their wounds and they try to recover from their free fall, which has finally crashed into the ground. All that you can say is, at this point in the game, there's really... Jalen Hurts has been talking all season about trying to find the identity of the team. I think this team has shown us over the course of these last 7 weeks, including in tonight's game, that they're a team that is inconsistent, that was inconsistent, that was simply unable to do what it needed to do. A team that lost sight of why it was playing, for whom it was playing, and what its goal was. And it stinks, because this was a game that was very easily winnable for most of the game. But the Eagles let it get away from them. And because of that, the Eagles are going to head back. Certainly not desirable, not in desirable situations. The Eagles are heading back home. And they will get ready to face the offseason. Again, some of the players will be part of the Pro Bowl games, so we might see some of that. I will definitely try to incorporate some of that coverage over the course of the next several weeks during the week of the Pro Bowl. But the big question is what went wrong. And in my opinion, I think the Eagles have lost their way. The Eagles lost their way after they lost to the 49ers. They lost their way after they lost to the Cowboys. The writing was on the wall when that happened. And the writing was on the wall when I think they lost to the Cowboys. So that was probably my biggest loss there. So, but you know what? We're here. And I appreciate y'all for hanging out. It's been a great season. We live streamed almost every Eagles game. We missed a few. We missed the Washington Commanders 1:00 games, and we missed the first game, the season opener against the New England Patriots. But we got most of the rest of them, and I wouldn't be able to do this without you. I mean, I'd just be a guy here talking to a camera, talking to himself, talking into this microphone. But you guys hung in there, and you guys helped me out. You guys gave me the encouragement to keep going. And we got through this season together. We got through a large number of games. And that only happens because we're here together and we're watching the game and we're enjoying the sport of football that we love. So I'm glad that you were along for the ride for this Eagles season. This was our first complete Eagles season that we covered here at Bird's Nest Media. We covered a little bit of the last season. Got the NFC Championship game and the and Super Bowl 57. But this was our first complete season, and it's due in a large part to a lot of people that this happened. So, you know what? Better luck next year is still a fitting sentiment one way or the other. Yeah, so. All right, I am going to get recording on a post-game episode. That is going to go up as soon as I can get that done and edited and posted. And then we're going to call it a season for the 2023 Philadelphia Eagles. I'll probably be back later on in the week 2 to talk about whatever the post-game press conferences are. But yeah. Thank you I'll be back. Yeah, I'll be back. I'll have the post-game episode up when that's done. I will, and I'll probably have an episode later in the week talking about just kind of like digesting this season. Probably after we've had some opportunity to hear from Sirianni and Howie and maybe Jeffrey Lurie if the Eagles decide to make a change with Sirianni. We'll see. But folks, I'm going to get going. Thank you so much for joining on this and for watching. I'm Joe Donahue. Let's go Eagles.